Alrighty, let's do it. So apparently, Cheryl Swoops doesn't learn from her mistakes. Caitlin Clark comments, I made a mistake. All right. The WNBA legend said she reached out to Iowa Star in the wake of comments she made ahead of Clark setting the NCAA's women's basketball scoring record, which she actually broke the record for men's and women. Okay. But Cheryl Swoops had some foul comments to say about Caitlin Clark. Just completely jealous, bitter for obvious reasons. All right? For obvious reasons. This is what I say to Cheryl.
You are a hater.
All right? When we're gonna look at the comments. She's been caught now. This is the second time. She doesn't learn from her mistakes. This is the first time she was caught making a fool of herself.
This isn't just for Caitlin, but
thoughts on Iowa's Kate.
So she tried to delegitimize Caitlyn breaking the scoring record, saying that Kelsey Plum made that record in a shorter amount of time, yada yada yada. She's 25 years old, just making a complete fool of herself. And we see here, okay, we see here. These are Cheryl Swoop's career stats. All right, 15 points a game, 3 assists. Caitlin Clark is already a better player than Cheryl Swoops ever was. All right. Caitlin Clark, I'll say this again. She's already better right now as a rookie than Cheryl Swoops ever was when she laced him up on the court. Her entire career amounted to 15 points and 3 assists. Okay. Caitlin was doing that in her first 15 games. Even when she started off slow, Caitlin Clark was giving you 15 and 3 on a bad night. But here we do have a quote unquote basketball legend, Cheryl Swoops, which I'll even say she's a legend. Sure, I don't even care about her though. But no one is going to sit here and say that Cheryl Swoops affected the game of basketball the way that Caitlin Clark did. No one's going to say that she impacted winning like Caitlin Clark. But here we are, listening to Cheryl Swoops be a hater. Okay? Cheryl Swoops is being a race baiting hater. Listen to this. Shout outs to Ocnation TV, man.
Cheryl Swoops, man. Great player. I remember her back in the 90s. I've done videos on her. She had the red carpet rolled out for her. Michael Jordan took her under his wing. They were calling her the female Michael Jordan. He was going around with her place to place because this was when he retired from basketball. In my opinion, I think they created the WNBA so that she could have a league to play in. A woman who's had so much privilege. So much privilege.
Okay, talking about Cheryl Swoops having so much privilege. All right, how the WNBA rolled out the red carpet for her, had Michael Jordan doing commercials with her, so on and so forth. That they even created this league so that they could promote Cheryl Swoops. All right, this is what he's saying, and he's not the only one who thinks this way. Cheryl Swoops has had every opportunity to be what Caitlin Clark is today, but it just didn't stick. She ended up getting pregnant in the peak of her powers. That's her fault.
Led a great life. Grew up in a pretty much all white town. Went to a predominantly white school. We're talking about somebody who's lived a great life. That's why there's obviously racial animus she has for Caitlin Clark. It's just crazy. I mean,
Yes, the obvious racial animosity is ridiculous that she's displaying right now. All right, and she's been displaying it to the point that she had to backpedal, but still get right back on that bike and go the same direction that she just came out. Even though it's a dead end, she backpedaled back and then went right back to where she just came from, to another dead end road, the same dead end road.
there's no other country where Cheryl Swoops could have lived this life.
Right.
And now she's made a second career, of taking shots at Caitlin Clark, undermining her, lying about her, appearing unhinged.
You hear that? Lying. Making a second career because no one was talking about Cheryl Swoops until Caitlin Clark hit the scene. No one cared about Cheryl Swoops anymore. But all of a sudden, her takes, and she's making a second career out of hating on Caitlin Clark.
Appearing unhinged, appearing to be batty, appearing to be just like a nut.
An absolute nut, just like Monica McNutt. This is the nuttiest crew, the nuttiest bunch of bimbos that I've ever seen in sports. We're
And,
we're talking batshit crazy.
and she won't stop. But this latest attack, I can't even say it's worse than the first one, because the first one, she takes 40 shots a game. She really took 22. She's been there for 5 years, and it's a COVID year and another year when she really only played 4 years.
Right.
And
Just lying.
all this stuff. Next we're gonna hear.
Check this out. Check this out.
I'm just telling you. And it is Rookie of the Year. I understand that it's Rookie of the Year, but she's laying out the point that's why she's talking about Rookie of the Year. She's wrong in what she's saying, but that's the case she's trying to make. The case she's trying to make is that the Fever has a great team enough to make the playoffs.
All right. Shout outs to Adrian Ross Communications. She's breaking this down too. But check out this point that she's going to make. This is an agenda. This isn't just
And
happening.
they don't need Caitlin Clark to make the playoffs. Yeah. And facts are facts. They are not good without Caitlin Clark. They're not making the playoffs without Caitlin Clark. But that's not Cheryl Swoops' assignment. Cheryl Swoops' assignment, which she's handling here, is to try to prove otherwise. Okay, Brandon, thank you so much. The goal.
Did you hear that? Her assignment. Now she's going to talk about the goalposts being moved.
Post always moves. First it was who has the better stats. It was Caitlin. Then it was the standings, Fever higher. Now it's this. Yeah, and this is what she's trying to do. It's nonsense, but understand that Cheryl Swoops and the media, and I believe Jordan is in on it, there is an agenda to influence who the Rookie of the Year will be. There's an agenda. And this spiel that she's putting out there, that's part of the agenda. To make sure that the person she wants to win that award is the one who wins that award. And I refuse to believe that Cheryl Swoops doesn't know what some of you are saying, that it should be about the stats, that Caitlin Clark is needed by her team, that Katie Lou Samuelson should not.
Right. All that good shit. Right? Saying all that good shit there. But guess what? Caitlin Clark is leading the league in assists and leading the league in points produced. Caitlin Clark is projected to win well more games than the Fever won last however many seasons. And on top of all of that, let's also factor in the fact that the Fever had the number one pick 2 years in a row. You don't get the number one pick 2 years in a row by playing well. The Chicago Sky did win the championship just 3 years ago. Okay, their team is different, but they still have at least two of those key players, Dana Evans and another player on that team that was on the championship team. Dana Evans is no slouch, so on and so forth. And if they would actually play Camila Cardoso and stop sabotaging Camila Cardoso just to fuel this bullshit agenda for an Angel Reese, because there's no way in basketball heaven, there's no way in blue hell that Angel Reese is better player than Camila Cardoso. But they're giving her these minutes for a reason. They're trying to push this narrative, all right? They're trying to push this narrative upon you. Now, this is again, no way, no way I'm the only one saying this. There is an agenda. There's no way Camila Cardoso should be playing less than Angel Reese. They should be using her the same way they did in college to an extent. They can definitely play through her. Trinity Carter is a baller. Dana Evans is a baller coming off the bench. There's enough weapons on the sky to have something going. If you factor in Angel Reese, but she doesn't make players better around her. She just is there to be some type of black hole, miss layups, get the rebound, miss layups, and then put you 8 points per game in the actual flow of the offense. Okay? So let's stop this shit. We're not gonna sit here and compare tomatoes to potatoes. All right? There's no comparison. And we see Cheryl Swoops, who had the red carpet laid out for her every opportunity to be what Caitlin Clark is. She dropped the ball. She wasn't able to bring in the crowds and put in the numbers that Caitlin Clark is already putting up. She was never able to put 19 assists in one game. She wasn't able to do that. She wasn't coming out in her rookie season dropping triple doubles. She had, speaking of playing with good players, Cheryl Swoops, look up the players that she played with. Cynthia Cooper, so on and so forth. She played with some ballers. All right. She had every opportunity, but when she was at the peak of her powers, she wanted to get pregnant. All right. She wanted to get pregnant and have babies in the time when she's in the prime of her career. That's on you, Cheryl. That's on you. So stop hating. A man's out review. And on that note, we are through. Until the next video, y'all know what to do. Go ahead and subscribe, comment, share the videos, because we have to stop this Kate hate.